Viva la revolution. No, not war. Not yet. I'm still enjoying the farming life. It's been peaceful and relaxing. I've found that it agrees with me quite well. Enough time has passed that I feel confident in my agrarian skills. I'm one with the land. My chests are so well stocked, and I want to move on to advanced chicken farming, which means an industrial revolution and redstone. But first, you gotta get rid of these pesky interlopers. My job back then was exploratory research data refinement, which is just the professional way to say I made PowerPoints about the off-world missions. And I only bring this up to say that this is very much my first rodeo with this redstone stuff. The most handy I've ever been is putting together a calyx, and that was more hours of my life than I'd ever like to admit. The thing I've learned being in the field is that nothing is impossible, and I don't need to understand how things work for them to work. It's like figuring out a puzzle. The process of finding out which pieces fit together that make the bigger picture and which ones on closer inspection don't actually go together at all and need to be changed. Except for in this case, I'm working on an all-white puzzle and some of the pieces are missing. So maybe my first foray into mechanical chicken farming didn't go so hot. Literally. For whatever reason, they kept getting pushed into the lava. But no worries. That just means a pivot into a crushing machine instead of a cooking one. And bada bing, bada boom, cage-free chickens. With just a minor side of ticking. And with that, Farm 1 completed. I think I'm really getting the hang for this. If you told me a year ago I'd be here in the field, gathering supplies, beating back the mobs, I wouldn't have believed you. New day, new me. It's iron farm time. Which means getting my pals to come over. In this little rendition of Hansel and Gretel, leaving a little trail of bread for them to follow. It does feel a bit fairy tale-esque, leaving all these crumbs for them to follow. Except for they're not going home, they're going to their new home, which is going to be in a farm. So maybe I'm a bit more like the witch, but hey, I don't want to eat them or hurt them. Just mildly scare them all the time to get iron. Does that make me the bad guy? But I mean, the only one to really get hurt is the iron golems, and they're only constructs. Maybe this is why I was better suited behind the desk, so it wasn't me making these decisions. And I can't even say these choices are for the greater good. They're just servicing me. It's self-serving at best. But I think we're just gonna have to classify ourselves as morally gray, self-serving, and put a pin in it to think about later. Because I have an iron farm to build. And outside of luring villagers over, the next hardest thing is to get and successfully capture a zombie all before the sun can come up again. After the containment area is built, it is fairly straightforward getting the villagers into their final destination, as they too are busy little bees who can't help but follow the siren's call of work. And once they are in, it's time to make sure everybody is secure, and then build the iron golem platform and iron collection area. I do have to say that doing all of this gives me stop to think about my own relationship to work, seeing how willing they follow the thrall of work without any concerns for their well-being, it seems. But hey, the iron farm works. It was so lucky that I found this great schematic in my research by Waddles. The copper touch, I think, really brings it all together. Speaking on cool things, there's just so happens to be this awesome room that's just below camp that was naturally shaped geometrically, and I'm gonna have to come up with a use for this room because it is stunning. So, I don't know if you have any suggestions. As we all know, the grind never ends. And it's time for the third farm of the day, Kelp. Now that I'm feeling a bit more established and less at a loss at what I'm doing here, I think it might be time for me to share a bit more about my mission and why I was sent here. In the months leading up to me arriving here, the reports started getting scarce. Usually it was a new report every day, and then they started to come every other day, up until the point where multiple days there would be nothing, and then the last week or so that I can remember, there weren't any at all. According to my supervisor, it's not uncommon for the frequency of the reports to change due to underlying circumstances, but it was my first time experiencing it in all of my years of working. The quality of the reports also changed. When I first started out here, the reports were so detailed and full of information that it took me a while to figure out the best way to condense and capture the most important parts. But I noticed they started becoming less detailed and more rushed. I think something big happened to the normal field researchers. Whatever it was led to me being here with the goal of seeing how habitable it is here. Getting it ready. There isn't really time to dwell on things though, as there's so much to be done. And as they say, the job is never done. Anyways, I think it's time I leave you so I can get ready for what's next. Bye!